Welcome back to the Packers Corner. Back and better than ever for a take two. To all the Packers Corner faithful, we got a salute to Schmitty and my father here. We're back to try this again after the producer had a little bit of a slip up. And so I don't know if we'll ever capture the magic that we had just a night ago, but we're sure going to try. Break down that big Packers-Lions win just like we did last night with even more enthusiasm. And we'll look towards the Bears, too. So, Schmitty, what do you have for the folks now that they'll be able to hear you on this attempt?
Yeah, can you, hello out there. This is almost as good. Remember the crying episode where my AirPods just couldn't catch me? Like, I'm trembling, I'm yelling, I'm crying, I got tears running down my face.
That sounds like every episode.
Yeah, you got to spike in some sound in the arms of an angel.
Oh, that was
the question? Good. How are we feeling? How are the Packers doing?
I just wanted you to put your beautiful voice on record so everyone could hear you.
I'm so glad we get to run this back. Hit the intro, and we'll see you on the other side.
The autumn wind is a packer, blustering in from the bay. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, banging the drum all day. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a cheese-filled cash with a green and gold cape on his back and a frozen stiff mustache. He rumbles across the tundra, a hero brave and bold. And the fans all cheer and raise their beer as he fights through rain and cold. The autumn wind is a packer, tackling just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and bask in the Titletown sun.
Well, Dad, we got you your autumn wind on take two. He was a little upset with me last night that I played the other intro. So are you feeling good? Are you fired up, ready to run through a brick wall for the green and gold here now, Dad?
I believe just at this moment I've received full enlightenment. I'm going to have full consciousness on my deathbed, as Bill Murray said, and Caddyshack, and I got that going for me now. The Dalai Lama, big hitter, the flowing robes and the whole thing. And I now know it's been troubling me all weekend. Where the heck did Max Brosmer come up with the idea for that goof? There it was, right there. Brett Favre, the underhand shovel pass right to Ahman Green.
That's touchdown. What he saw in his head, wasn't it?
Max, there was a few guys with the wrong colored jersey in between, but good intentions for Max. We give him credit for that. He was in a tough spot. First start in the NFL on the road in Seattle with the 12th man and no running game and guys dropping balls. And you know what? J.J. McCarthy's just thanking his lucky stars he didn't play in that game, because that might have been it.
Well, fair enough. I think, we had the buttoned-up version last night. Maybe we'll have a little more fun than usual tonight. Schmitty, where do you want to lead off? We have the Lions game. We have Bears and Caleb Williams ascending. We've got MVP talks to mix in with Jordan Love. Where do you want to lead us off tonight?
I mean, as much as I'd love to start off with painted nails, Kitty, it certainly cannot spearhead our episode tonight. It has to be Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, the guys that mean most to our
franchise. Hit the highlights here.
Please run them. I mean, watch this masterful performance by Jordan Love. Toyotathon is on, baby. I think I got to trade my car in tomorrow and get myself a Toyota just to celebrate the play of Jordan. Matt LaFleur coming into Detroit, and Dan Campbell was a sight to behold. That 4th and 1 for the touchdown to Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks coming up huge when we needed a wide receiver to appear, and Christian Watson has done just that. But to have a performance out of Wicks that really propelled us to this victory without his shoeless catch to seal the deal, which, I mean, that doesn't happen without Matt's approval. I'm just really in awe of that performance that we gave on Thursday at noon for the whole world to see. I think it's our coming out party. people fell asleep on us midway through the season. We beat the Lions to start the year, and then we kind of just kept creeping down the power rankings, if you will. And you get a win like this against Detroit on the road, and now we're seemingly the stars of the show again. I'm absolutely I'm loving it right now. How could you not?
Well, Dad, I was kind of perplexed to see on that Wicks touchdown we just showed there, where he had the first foot down right away. It was an incredible play. I saw a number of folks from various fan bases on the internet not understanding why that was a touchdown catch, which was kind of ticking me off here. Did you see some of that reaction too?
Well, you always hate to see it when it goes to replay because anything can happen, and I think they got
Tom Brady
right.
was a little slow.
Yeah, you and I were watching it here at Thanksgiving with the celebration with the family, and we go, "Uh-oh, that foot's out of bounds. Oh, hold it. Where does he gain possession? Oh, it's the third foot back." So for an instant, he had that third foot down. You never know what they're going to rule on instant replay, but I think they made the right call. They let the call on the field stand. Now, we got to acknowledge here, we did just the other night, Coach LaFleur, we want to thank you very much for tuning into the podcast last week. We dressed you down pretty good, but God bless you. You followed the game plan to the T's, to the nines there. I mean, letting Jordan Love throw the ball, putting the game on his shoulders. And guys, we talked a little bit about this. I really believe that Cleveland game put Matt in the doldrums. And I think he blamed himself for that call he made at the end of the game when Jordan made, it's good Lord, he's got 3 interceptions for the whole year. There's nobody else in the league like that. But that was a bad one. And I think Matt got very conservative from that point on. And I think I hope, guys, we hope this team is not going to reach its championship aspirations if he does not put the ball in the MVP candidate's hands. And you heard me, I said it. Right now the MVP would go to the kid over there in New England, no question about it. Drake May's having a hell of a year.
You think? And, I think Stafford's neck and neck.
Right. What's that?
I was going to say I think Stafford's neck and neck. Would be my take.
Stafford's right. He had a bad game the other day, 2 interceptions and a fumble. But if you look at the numbers, we can get into that later. If the Packers can go on a run, it's going to happen just the way I said, that Micah Parsons is going to be a great beneficiary, great benefactor rather, and Jordan Love will be the beneficiary of him elevating the team into the position to have a chance at, winning the North, chance now at the number 1 seed, chance we can take care of business against the Bears, which is no small if, and that would elevate Jordan into the MVP conversation. Number 1 EPA in the league per dropback, number 1 EPA on 3rd and 4th downs, fewest interceptions in the league, 3rd QB. I mean, all the numbers are there. Perennially, MVPs have the highest EPA, and some people may not know what that is, expected points added. We can get into it. But anyway, Jordan Love's having a heck of a run, and maybe now, maybe, just maybe, Schmitty, Coach LaFleur understands where his bread is buttered.
Well, and Schmitty, maybe we didn't do enough of this on take 1, but on take 2 here, I want to amend for it, is get your thoughts on the previous week here. You were gone. We did a show, A Man Down, of course. First off, I did ask you, but I want to have you reiterate for everyone. What did you think of my dad's impression of you trying to make up for being a man down last week?
Yeah, no, I thought I heard myself. Had the guy had his shirt off, I would have been doing a double take. I loved please take it off, baby.
One day, maybe.
I was impressed. I'm glad that you guys kept the show going. We're just a content machine over here at Packers Corner, and you picked up your fallen brother and you led us to the finish line. I'm incredibly proud of you two. And Gar had he injected a lot of what I would have into the pod last week. So incredibly grateful for you two. And what another great performance to celebrate. With the Vikings deal. So,
we won, of course, but neither of us were overly jubilant. We had a bone to pick with Matt LaFleur. Do you think you would have been right there with us a week ago?
How could you not? Because you didn't see this perform. You didn't see the Lions' performance, and Matt has had more of these. Had some of these performances where you're questioning your ability as a leader, which we've been the biggest supporters of Matt at times, and we've questioned the heck out of him, whether he was the leader of men that he once we once thought he was. I think part of it is the recipe of other teams when they're playing against us. It's very evident in a lot of our matchups this year, where they're trying to deflate the ball, they're trying to keep the possession counts down, and maybe Matt wasn't necessarily prepared for that, and so it took some time. You didn't necessarily get that against the Lions, but peeking into this game on Sunday, I certainly believe that the Bears are going to try to do the same thing that the Bengals, the Browns, Panthers, because they've had some success. Teams are having success against us with that game plan, and so I would expect the Bears to do the same.
Well, and maybe we got to do a little check-in on the line in the sand that you drew, Dad. I said a week ago, for some reason, I thought some of the problems that LaFleur was having were fixable, and I don't even know if I really believed it when I was saying it, but I was hoping that it was true. It seems like there's at least a glimmer, a ray of hope. And what do you do with that line in the sand that you drew on our coach there, Dad?
Well, like I say, I appreciate Coach LaFleur tuning into the podcast. He obviously heard about the line in the sand. He has not crossed the line in the sand, which is ultra-conservative play, running the ball on first and second down, not letting Jordan Love throw the ball. And he heard me, no more, no mas. That's it. There's the line in the sand. You want to cross it?
He acknowledged it, and we're ready to move forward all together.
Like you said, I don't want any credit for it. To faithful subscribers, there's no send gifts or any acknowledgments. I'm just one of the Tres Amigos here, Los Tres Amigos. And we get together and we break it down, and we appreciate it when the coach listens. And I think, Coach needed a little tough love like everybody else. I'll never forget senior in high school playing basketball. The assistant coach is my trigonometry teacher. Back in those days, Schmitty, 17 years old, it was live for Tuesday, live for Friday, game days. And, we kind of went to school as a afterthought in between. I was fortunate in that I was able to do pretty well in school without working very hard. But I had one test in trigonometry where I did not do very well at all. I got the worst grade ever in the history of mankind. And Coach handed me that paper. And he said, Gar, I'm very disappointed in you. You're capable of much better than this. And I tell you what, that affected me to the core of my being. I never showed up for another exam all the way through high school, college, professional school. I was prepared as I could be. I gave it everything I had because of good old Coach Johnson. And I'm just trying to return the favor for Coach LaFleur. And again, I don't expect any bouquets or flowers or acknowledgments or kudos. I'm just here to do the job that needs to be done so the green and gold can persevere and achieve their ultimate high aspirations that we all have for them. Happy to be here and do it.
I love the anecdote. That's great. Great.
I got to just say one more quick thing. Up front, Schmitty, as you know, football is a game up front. It's the big guys up front that allow Jordan Love to sit back in the pocket and do what he's incredibly adept at doing, throwing off the back foot, throwing accurate pass, lobbing them in there. Our offensive line, believe it or not, in my estimation, has been much better since Elton Johns gave way. Elton Jenkins. Elton John?
he would look funny up front.
Shooting up the stars up here alone like he did at the Dallas Cowboy playoff game. No. We wish Elton well, no question. But Sean Ryan taking over at center and our own our Ant-Man at the right guard has shored up that offensive line, Schmitty. Unbelievable. It looks like a whole different ball game up there. And we got the free agent from San Francisco who's playing now and getting over that injury at the left guard. And my only concern, as good as it looks up front for the big guys, is the loss of Devontae Wyatt in that running game of the Bears. That's going to be a key integral factor. We're going to have to get some contributions out of our two rookies from Georgia, Stackhouse and Brinson. So But boy, big change in the offensive line. That Belton is just a huge man, 6'6", 340 pounds, and it looks beautiful over there at right guard.
Well, you teed up exactly what I was going to ping Schmitty for, which is Devontae Wyatt in that situation. You know, we're fond of giving out the frozen mustache on this show when a player, coach, or personnel member does not live up to their performance. I think Coach LaFleur was wearing the frozen mustache for a number of weeks. I think you'd have to put it on the situation that is the Devontae Wyatt ankle now, Schmitty, because everyone else performed pretty darn well. Now, that said, it looked like we had an acquisition from the Giants today up front. Their 7th-round draft pick. I'm forgetting the name of the gentleman. So we'll see if he makes anything of himself. But it's going to be a gaping hole, and his presence is going to be felt that we've lost Devontae Wyatt. How do we move forward and stop the run against a Bears team that just ran all over the place against the Eagles, Schmitty?
Yeah, that really sucked. Wyatt's going to be done for the year. Micah said it best. I mean, you just can't replace a guy like that. He really was the heartbeat of the interior line. And really, if you watched all Packers games this year, that's been a weak point of our defense is those 22, 24 run schemes that, you know, they're just trying to attack your interior. The kids are going to have to show up in Nazir and Brinson. And what's been good, we still have Colby Wooden, who's had an exceptional season. I feel he's really come on and can shoulder more of the workload that's going to come his way naturally now. The young kids are going to have to rotate him a bunch. If the 7th-round kid from the Giants, if he can help even with 5 snaps a game, because I think the idea is now that you just keep changing these guys out even more than you would have before DY goes down. It's incredibly difficult to stomach that that occurred with just a few minutes left in that Lions game, and so to lose him when we did at that time, it's just a gut punch. Knowing that this team is aspiring for a Super Bowl, and Devontae Wyatt would have definitely left his mark on this run. So. Disappointed, obviously, but this again gives opportunities for young kids that wouldn't necessarily saw this amount of playing time this late in the year. So, yeah, sucks, but we got to get through it because we got a hell of a team this year.
What's the official injury? Is there any chance for a February return? Is that even a possibility?
I heard broken fibula and ligament damage out for the year. That doesn't sound, when you're a 330-pound man, I don't think you're coming back.
If it was just the fibula, maybe, but yeah.
He did the old Instagram, I'll be back post. So I think, yeah, he's, we'll see him hopefully to start camp next year.
That's tough to stomach for sure. The other thing tough to stomach for me has been seeing the Bears have some success in general here. That has not been enjoyable to watch. Now, maybe you guys have differing opinions here. We'll see. But what do you make of the ascendancy of the Bears? And is Caleb Williams actually taking a step forward? Do we credit Ben Johnson? Who gets the credit here, maybe in Chicago, Dad, in terms of what you've seen to this point?
Well, you got to give the Bears their due. I mean, they put it on Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia is a stack of cards that's ready to implode. They've got all that dissension in the ranks. A.J. Brown isn't getting any love in the passing game, and so they're always on a hair trigger edge there, trying to keep the team together. I think they brought back one of their old players in just to get him in to keep the locker room on an even keel. But give the Bears credit. It was impressive, Schmitty. My gosh, gash right, gash left. 280 yards rushing? And not take, Caleb Williams is a supremely talented guy. He's not a great thrower, but he is a great evader of the rush. He's got the big arm. He's a little bit like J.J. McCarthy and a little bit of a scatter arm for accuracy. But you know what he is, Schmitty, and you'll agree with this, when it's the fourth quarter, he finds a way to get things done. And so you got to respect him and give him credit for that. It's going to come down. Can we control that running game? I will say this, on the positive note, we should be getting Quay Walker back. and Edgerrin Cooper, and we're gonna have to move laterally in that secondary, in that second alignment, that second level of the defense and third level. Who's our secret weapon on the third level against the running game? Mr. number 33, Evan Williams, who Mr. Hafley has had some beautiful disguises and run blitzes all the way from that safety position and fill in the gaps. And we're going to have to trick them. We're going to have to fool them. We're going to have to not let them get that running game going, because it's pretty easy to play quarterback. As talented as Williams is in a number of areas, the accuracy of the throwing on the side, it's a lot easier to play quarterback when you're rushing for 200 yards. So we got to make, who is it who's famous for saying, we got to make Caleb Williams play quarterback this week?
One, and that tees up a couple things I got to ask you about here, Schmitty. So certainly the running game, looks like Kyle Monangai missed practice today. So instead of the two-headed monster, maybe we'll have a one-headed monster to face. We'll see what that looks like. The other thing is, I kind of had Caleb Williams pegged as maybe a poor man's Kyler Murray is how I envision that. I think he's a rich man's Kyler Murray. He does a lot of similar things. He's bigger, but he's got that quick release. What do you think it looks like with a different caliber of athlete chasing after him, though? He's been so slippery, so able to escape the pocket. What does it look like when Mike is chasing him, and what do we make of the Bears' running attack, Schmitty?
Yeah, it was the Amazon. They couldn't do a service to how they were pounding pads on Friday. The pop that Monangai and DeAndre Swift were providing to those linebackers trying to tackle him, it was popping off the TV. So 280 yards, not many defenses you can't say you'd win a game if you're going to give up 280 yards, and I wouldn't believe that we could either. And knowing that the Eagles held our offense like they did, that's something to glean into on Sunday. I'm concerned, that we're really discrediting what Caleb Williams is able to provide the Chicago Bears. Yes, I agree. The accuracy isn't necessarily there. And I feel that if he's able to evade Micah Parsons just a couple times, he's going to make him pay. We're going to get a couple deep touches to Rome Odunze. That they have the ability. He has the arm talent to make us pay deep down the field. Now, we know it's a death sentence. If you come as a tackle one-on-one against Micah Parsons, you're going to lose. So I'm curious to see how each team decides to block Micah Parsons. I mean, there's plenty of pictures out there this year where Micah's getting blocked by three guys. So if Micah's able to get to him quickly and we're able to put his face in the dirt a couple times, that bodes really well for us. We just need to do that early and often.
What matchup might you circle? What are you going to be watching most closely when we battle the monsters of the Midway there, Schmitty?
I'm really that interior offensive line play. I mean, that really losing Devontae Wyatt and the running backs. DeAndre Swift he's looking for contact. And so I think knowing how other teams have played us, trying to shorten the game, if they are able to impose their will offensively with the running game, I don't see us having a chance, truthfully. So I'm keying in on that. I think you'll be able to tell fairly quickly those first maybe 2 or 3 drives, if the Bears are able, if they're going to keep coming back to those first and second down runs in the 4th, 5th, 6th possession, it probably means that they were able to impose their will quickly on us, and we're just not going to be able to catch up unless Jordan has one of those MVP type performances, which the Bears defense is susceptible. So keying in on the trenches this week.
Is there an area you would key in on, Dad?
Well, the Bears defense is a takeaway defense. Without takeaways, they're not very highly rated. They're like 30th in yards per play, 6.5 yards per play, but they live off turnovers. And I think the key statistic there, the key element to the game is we don't turn the ball over. We come out aggressively. I think the great scenario would be, the prototypical scenario you would look for, could do the Bears, win the coin toss and defer or go on defense. Give us the ball so we get the ball to start the game. Go down the field, turn Jordan Love loose. Don't turn the ball over. Get the lead. Somehow get them 3 and out. Maybe get the turnover from them, or get a special teams play and get the ball rolling a little bit in our favor and get up 17 points, something like that, so we can pin our ears back and go after them, and the running game isn't as effective. But if it's a slugfest back and forth, 3 possessions in the first half and the game is 7-6 and it goes like that in the second half, it's going to come down to the end of the game. Going to come down to a kick, Schmitty, and it's going to be about 10 degrees on Sunday and wind blowing in Lambeau Field, and who knows what the heck's going to happen in the kicking game. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But I think you asked for one key. Green Bay, don't turn the ball over. Do not lose the turnover battle. And the Bears have a lot harder time performing on defense when you don't give them the ball.
Well, we better jump into our picks here, gentlemen. Schmitty, with that context, who do you like?
I said I wouldn't pick against us for this 3-game stretch. We're 2/3 of the way there. Give me the Packers 30-13 over the Bears. I will call out 6.5 points we're favored by. This is the ultimate zigzag yo-yo. Vegas is licking their chops because all of the public money is on the Bears because no one believes in the Packers. Wouldn't it be sweet if the Packers finally turn the corner here and win Vegas a bunch of money? I'm all for it.
Dad, who do you got?
Well, a little good breaking news for the faithful, for the subscribers who tune in every week expecting us to be on the cutting edge. It's a hard job to live up to those lofty expectations week in and week out. Lord knows I'm up late at night trying to keep on track of these things for our faithful listeners. But we got an open window for some key players. I'll go in climactic order, reaching for the climactic point last. We got Oliver Collin. Who is it? Colin Oliver, our 5th round pick, a speed rusher off the edge. Be fun to get him back on the field. We'll see if he's able to give us anything. He had pulled a groin muscle 3 months ago in camp. And Brenton Cox, who's been a contributor off the edge over the years, is back with his window. And most critically and importantly, the hope of the nations rests on Marshawn Lloyd, the scat back. Could we possibly get anything out of Marshawn Lloyd? Not this week, but I do think there's a 50-50 chance we're going to see number 11 out there. And if Coach LaFleur took us to heart after we had our line in the sand and our heart-to-heart talk last week and continues to be aggressive, the Packers will get it done. It's going to be 27-19, and we're going to pull it out on a cold day at Lambeau Field.
Well, just like us, if the Packers don't get it done this week, they get to take 2 in a couple weeks against the Bears. I'm hoping they get it done take 1, and I'm picking them this way. I don't think they're going to leave Schmitty muted. They wouldn't do that to the lad. And I think we brought it through. It took us a little later to this point in the week to get it done, but I think we did our part eventually here. So thanks for the resilience here, gentlemen. And Dad, do you have a cheese for us this week?
I got the cheese. What more appropriate cheese than Munster cheese? The 1940 Munsters of the Midway. The Chicago football Bears are going to eat a little Crow Munster cheese this week, and let's go get them, boys. Take no prisoners.
Any words? You could give us like a super fan rendition or something. I could see you being on the set of SNL back in the day.
With a little mustache and singing the pack, okay?
With a little Polish sausage clogged in the lining of your heart there.
Right. Game 1 of 2. We're going to play them twice in 3 weeks. We got talk about the cutting edge. You heard it here first. We got flex to Saturday night in a few weeks. This is the best time of the year. It's cold. This is football weather. I'm excited to break every game down with Packers Corner and our faithful. I cannot wait. Love you all.
Have a good night, gentlemen. We'll see you in a week's time.